Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at two decks that I put together for 10.4, and I was really intrigued by how can we make the Prism Pendant work, right? So this card, whenever you target an allied unit with a special card, give it vitality equal to the provision cost of the special, right? And then whenever we target an enemy unit with a special, give it bleeding equal to the special's provision cost. So we have the dual sort of way to go about it, and so I felt like constructing a deck in such a way that benefits that both. So I have the Venedane combo with the Waylays here, and then I also have the Orbs combo with the ALZUR and the ALZUR'S. So this version exactly is extremely greedy because it has obviously just a lot of points in it, and there are a couple moving pieces that we want to work, like the ALZUR'S. We want to make ALZUR work, you know, preferably Francesca as well, and then the Sorceress Doblathana. However, we do have things like Tactical Advantage, Guerrilla Tactics Leader, and the Mushy Truffle to keep things going so that it works. Some of the matchups that you might have a difficult time with would be Stockpile, and maybe like a Reckless Flurry deck, or Skellige Raid, but some of the ones you're going to have a really easy time with are going to be things like potentially Dwarves. You have monsters, Fruits of Ysgith, stuff like that. Nilfgaard shouldn't be all too bad, right? There's, I would say, pretty good matchups. The less that they're interacting with what we do, the better that we do in this version. However, I did make a second version of the deck that was a little bit less greedy, so it would have taken out Francesca, and it would have put in, here, I'll have a look, would have put in the muzzle for a little bit more control. It has a spell tag as well, so it synergizes with the ALZUR. And then in the mid-range, I took out the Pendant, because maybe you guys aren't liking the tempo of the play, right? We have this here gone, and I put in a Moren, so we have more control in this version here, right? We can lock one of the key engines, we can go and seize something and use Leader, or we can use the Vriad Officers to chip it down, and that's pretty much it. This deck thins out very well because we have Oneiromancy, we have Simlas for double thin, we've got the Knickers in the deck, and I feel like that's just pretty good. Oftentimes you're going to be playing against Mill, they're going to help us out a little bit there too. We've got Ring of Favor because it's just busted, and this is going to act like a thin as well if we don't use it. So with all these things together, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to flip back to the first deck for a second here. We'll talk about it a little bit. So the goal of the deck is to win round one, develop carryover through the counters on the Orbs of Insight, go and try to play the ALZUR, and then play the Orbs to generate a bunch of random cards off the ALZUR, and then hopefully we get pretty good rolls there. We play a lot of spells throughout the game so that we build up to a good final last save play with Gord, and Gord's going to play for quite a bit, right? It can't go past 12, so we got the 12 here, plus the 3's 15-point finisher, plus maybe if we were able to create like a Bountiful Harvest off the Sorceress Doblathana, we can get some hand buffs here on the Gord as well. But really sweet deck. It has the potential to win around one, to bleed around two, even a card down, and then somehow keep last say and go in and play the big finisher. So I had a lot of fun to it. There's some techs as well for some of the stuff going around right now. Pellers for the resilience, spores obviously to punish something that they go really tall with, because this version doesn't have a lot of control, and we know everybody's playing Ring of Favor, so that's kind of a thing here, right? Power's also going to be good for things like Elven Seer, things like the Sorceress, things like the ALZUR, like that get locked potentially, Venedane, right? We might have to use it defensively, so I don't mind at all having the Peller in that spot. An alternative would be the Squirrel, but I don't think it's going to get as much value as the Peller right now. So we got Oneiromancy. We could pull ALZUR off the Oneiromancy, which triggers the Orbs of Insight chain. That's the idea. Simlas early on could be to reach for the Orbs. If we get subpar Orbs, like if we pull them in hand and we want to do something else, well, we've got a couple good options, right? We can go on the Waylay train. If we've got Venedane out there, we can go on the ALZUR'S Thunder. If the opponent's maybe starting to stack some engines like Stockpile or something like that, we can go and clear two of those in the same turn. So there's some flexibility there, right? We've got ALZUR, whenever you play a spell card, spawn a random unit with the same provision cost on the row, counter 3. So obviously we want to do like a same turn proc on ALZUR if we can, but it's not the end of the world because I'm finding a lot less people are running Heatwave right now. You still have to worry about Erendite if you float this. However, oftentimes I'm finding that you can, right? With a truffle boost, potentially, or with, like, let's say a leader charge, like you could get away oftentimes at 8 power, floating that on the board for 1 turn if it doesn't quite line up. So it's a little bit forgiving, right? But try to set it up like so that it works the way that it's intended to work. Sometimes in the games today, you'll see me do it both ways, and it seems to just kind of work out pretty well. So I'm not too worried about that. Mushy Truffle's great because this has resilience to form a carryover for us of 6 points off the Golden Froth, and then we can obviously spawn and play one of the Vriad officers. I used to think that these weren't that great, but when you pair them up with the Waylays, they're actually really good because we get the 3 damage here, we can complete with the 2. So it just helps us get that 4 to 6 range removal peaks a bit better, right? You know, we can go 3, 4, 5 leader and get rid of something at 7. So pretty cool, right? These bonded, we get to get the actual boost on the range roll payoff as well. So imagine doing some damage to them, but then chucking 2 boost on something like this or this. This could create an extra bountiful. This could prevent this from getting removed from something inexpensive. So that's the idea with the Vriads. Just the utility, the flexibility, all that type of stuff. Now, Francesca I like, but I don't love here. I just thought it would be a lot of fun to play. This is why in the other version I put in Muzzle, because I find that this is slowing it down a little bit, but it's also a good play, right? So, Veil, whenever you play a special card, remove 1 counter, counter 2. When the counter reaches 0, spawn and play a copy of the last card that you played. If it's a neutral, give it Doomed. Done, right? So, we can get an extra Oniro. We can get an extra Salve, right? If we can line that up properly. We can get an extra Orb. Get an extra Thunder, right? A double Spores. So, some options there. But you don't have to. Like, you're not going to basically lose a game or win a game if you have or don't have this card, right? It just comes down to do what you want to do. I like playing Francesca early. I think Francesca is a great round 1 card if you could do that, right? Let's say you draw one of your orbs and it's kind of messy. Well, you can do the orb chain twice in the game. Just put one of them, like you have one of them in your deck, you have one of them there. You know, you can make another one from Francesca. It kind of works, right? And it's 10 provision card. It's not like an overcommitment for round 1. People are playing more in round 1, so there you have it. I haven't tried the double Ring of Favor. I'm curious if you guys want to try that one out. Let me know if it goes for the amount of points that it boosted up to, or if it goes for its base at 4. I'd like to know. But that's that. So it's just a great carryover, right? So when we use this card, play a couple counter 2, play a couple specials later, it's going to come out at 3 power, and it's going to keep doing that throughout the match. So creating 2 of these is really cool. We could definitely set that up with Francesca, but it's nice to have a little bit more carryover, especially when we got all the orbs going around. It's one more unit to split up the boosts onto, right? So that's that. Venedane's really, really, really good in this list. So I was surprised. It's just something I thought of at the last minute, and I'm glad I did. Move up to 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Add a Waylay to your hand for each card moved that way. Whenever you play a Waylay, spawn an Elven Deadeye on this row. So this allows us to get a free round 1 win if we need to, right? Think about it this way. If they can't answer this card, keep Peller in hand if you got him in the first round too, because you might want to just even purify that if they lock it. But we just put a ton of Waylays in our hand, not even care. Every Waylay we play is playing for 9 points. It's kind of hard, even with the tempo of the game right now, to keep up with 9 point per turn, just swing, swing, swing. And the fact that these 9 points, like some of them come from control, it's difficult, right? Because the opponent's having a little bit harder time putting out their engines and getting those together, right? So, really cool play here. I like it quite a bit. Now, Herald, we talked about it, just a point slam for the end. Knickers is more or less just to get some cards out of the deck so we could pull into the cards that we need. I think a lot of people are running Knickers right now, and it just makes sense. I want to try and compete with that tempo because we have some low tempo plays like floating cards, right? So this will help us out a little bit. Prism Pendant, we talked about it. I'm liking it when it works. I'm not liking it when it doesn't. The problem with Prism Pendant is we got to get this out at some point before we do the orb chain, and if you draw this in round 3, it's bad. So you want to draw this in round 1, and then it makes me feel like for that reason we should go and change a stratagem or something like that and put like Curse Scroll in to make sure we get key combo pieces. But then I just think that you're risking taking out, you know, some of your engines, like the ones that we really want to keep alive. Like it's harder to keep them alive when you got like a tech like this in there. So yeah, Prism Pendant's really sweet when it works. It's not so great when it doesn't, but at the end of the day, it's 6 provision, so it's not that bad, right? We've got tons of waylays, so this with the Vanadane combo on the waylays is disgusting, because every time we use a waylay, we're giving 4 bleeding. And every time we give vitality to ourselves, we're getting 6 vitality. So really cool stuff. I experimented a little bit with the Giant Slayers. I tried to think of how I can make this work, because one of you guys in the comment section the other day said, what about the pendant with the Giant Slayers? It was kind of tough to pull off, so I didn't end up going with it for the final version, but that was like a really cool idea, and just wanted to shout that one out. Now, orbs, we talked about the orbs. You know, sorceress, we've all seen and played this here. Basically, you want to get it to 6 points if you can before you play, because we're going to be getting a bountiful harvest. Keep in mind, at 5 points, we get the option to go with something like a Nature's Rebuke, which is pretty good. And keep in mind, at 4 points, you know, just playing it from hand the way it is and it surviving the way it is, we actually get the option most of the time to go with a waylay. So waylay is really good for the other synergy. So it just makes sense to have a card like this in the deck for so many reasons. I like it there. Doesn't matter to have rebukes. I think thunders are better here because they're spells. We could target any unit, even one on our own side of the board. I'm not running Forest Protector, so we don't need to have nature cards, right? That's basically the idea. The tactic, again, waylays are just really good here. If you're finding, and I hate to say it, like, I really like this version of the deck, but if you're finding like you're somehow short on spells, it either has to be just played with a little bit more discipline, or you'd have to go and just maybe throw in packs or something like that. But I don't love the idea, because this combo is just really good. You know what I mean? And this is the spot that you'd have to fill, because I don't think we're dumping spores. I don't think we're changing Pellar. And again, we kind of need everything else in the bronze end. So that's pretty much it. We'll flip right back over to the control version real quick, and you'll see that pretty much every card here would be the same, with exception to the 2. Morin's really good. Damage an enemy unit by 2 on melee, right? We can basically chip down, get some kills, chip down for muzzle, right? This and leader's really cool. Or we can just lock it. So oftentimes I'm going to fetch for Duregaray right away, but this has technically 1 point more ceiling, just because the damage. So it's a little bit more flexible. You can do what you want here. I don't mind either way. I could see positives taking Duregaray if you are using it most often for lock, right? You're getting an extra point. But if you want to have that utility, just take the Morin and it's fine. But yeah, that's the version here. Muzzle takes away maybe something that's really important of theirs. And if I'm looking at potential substitutions or inclusions in this deck here, there's one that came to mind, but I just don't think it's the time and place for it. It's the Elven Scribe. So if I can pull them up here. It's here. So Elven Scribe, you get a counter of 3 when it reaches 0, boosts self by 6. Huge tempo play. It's just about keeping it going, right? And you could see here, based on what I described, like, what would we really take out to put them in? So that's the problem. I have, in this version, a couple plays where we're floating cards and waiting, right? There's the 2 and then potentially the 3. In the other version, I've got more. So, you know, I don't know. Like, this feels like it might tip the scale if you put Elven Scribe in here, just because there's waiting, potential waiting, right? I just think that we have to be realistic, and I know that this version can win games. I know that the version with the control can especially win games. I think that overall this one's probably a little bit stronger because of the control, right? You got to be able to handle some of the problems that come up. So I played, I think, one extra game with this one, but I like them both the same, and this has to be one of my favorite decks I put together this season, if not the favorite deck. It's the most interesting, right? You're just doing a bunch of stuff, and there's a lot of things to manage, and you know, you can play it differently every time, and your opponent's not going to be anticipating your move, and you know, it's adding something good to the game. It's adding some flavor to the Ring of Flavor. So that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoy the content you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm strongly pushing for 8K. We're at 73 right now. And yeah, let's make it happen. And good news too, I got a sponsor that's coming up in the next week and a half. So I'm really excited about that. I'll let you guys know more about that as well. And I plan on putting my stream schedule for this week up in the community tab later this afternoon. So make sure you check around for that. I'll put a time converter so that you guys can convert that to your own time, because I know we got people from all over the world coming in. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you soon. I got live commentary for this one here. And yeah, let's get into the games. Alright, so for the first game here, we got Nilfgaard Tactical Decision. We actually don't mind waylays in hand, honestly. This is probably good. This is probably not. I don't mind something like this either, but maybe we put back one of them. And we can dump the orbs. So what's nice about this too is it's kind of like the reshuffle on the Knickers play, so it plays pretty well. I think we're supposed to just go in with the Sork here.
You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
And we can get same turn plays. Like if we go create a waylay, we actually can proc this same turn.
Is there anyone here to whom I can entrust my missive?
I suppose that's fine. We'll take this now.
Will not be heard.
Put back one. It's probably this here. Like we still have the truffle for it, but look, it's actually pretty gross. We're just going to be getting such good trades on every single turn. It's going to be playing for 9 points. And I think we're just fine here to do this.
Yes.
I think we go for carryover route. We'll just take the Bountiful as well, right? And probably just clean up the board. There we go. This is looking so proper.
Do not make me beg.
What's nice too is if we can keep their side of the board lean, then we have a pretty good shot, right? They go tall in one specific unit, we hit it with the spores. And it sort of plays well against Mill because we do clog ourselves a little bit, right?
Time to get our hands.
So maybe they just, yeah, they pull trash. So that'll likely be the reset with the spores, right?
Battles need end in bloodshed.
Now, we do have bonded set up with the officers, so maybe that's something we look at taking shortly. Say we split the points up a little bit here. So far playing at 18 points. Sure enough, they take that. 16-point reset off the bat here. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna hold on for just a little bit longer, and I'm gonna play my slower stuff. We gotta hit this. We can't hit this because they can replay this if they have teleportation, right? Mm-hmm.
Here's our chance.
They're getting bad hits overall this entire game, so I'm feeling pretty good about our odds here. 45-46. We take out the last one here, don't we? Just play it on the cheap stuff. And then we take the reset, and for them, I don't think there's any going back from 16 points on one card. If we want to really secure it, we could go and just play Truffle, but I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll see. They played Yen, so maybe they don't have Vilg. Take the reset first. This works out really well, actually. We pull Salve, we get the carryover here, we've got 10 cards. Gord's playing for huge points. This is huge, actually. Look at this. Simlas does nothing, though. Like, that's how hard we got milled down. For specials, at least. Here. I think we have a bit of room to push. ALZUR.
An interesting devoid of name. Depart now, avail of pain. Losan ahenid anclean.
Children giving parents up unto death. It is inevitable.
Perfect. That should give us our card back.
If I'm to die, I'll do so sword in hand.
They have Vilgeforts here. They've taken Yen. Like, I'm confident in my ability to 2-0 if I just slam this and take leader. But I also want to make sure. Right? So... yeah, let's just do it.
Use some wood, but the pay's better for souls.
Yeah, you see that? Alright, this matchup should be very good for us because they won't be interacting with the grand plan that we have, you know? So let's get it done. We got... Good boy goes away for a bit. I don't mind orbs here just cuz, but... I think if anything, Waylay goes back first. And ALZUR'S nice to have in hand. Bonded. Purifies, like, yeah. But we're not really gonna... yeah, I'd say that's probably a little bit better. What cards would I ever put back? Waylays are actually pretty big for this whole thing, though. You know what I mean? I think this can go back. And I think one of these can go back, just because they're actually really good for later. And then we could sort of defend Sabbath with the Waylays, which is actually crazy.
So sword in hand.
I want to take Salve before they pass. Obviously, we might play Salve next and then use TA. So that will boost. They should have done it like reverse, like this then that, but here. Yeah, just to turn that offline. And we'll just do that, right? Tempting to go double leader, but it's not worth it. I guess they're scoping this. It'll put them up on, like, they'll have dominance back, but we can get it back with an orb. It's actually going to be this here. Slow them down a little bit if they have something else they want to play. Then maybe they'll take a selection first. If they don't, though, we can just go crazy with the Waylays. They're taking up a lot of space here to get that Sabbath. Look at this. This is wild. Ah, jeez. I'm really trying to preserve the whole orb thing. Like, it would be nice to see Simlast for that. Yeah. Alright, we're doing alright. We've got lots of time to fix the hand up. We have bleeding potential too with the hand that it looks like we have. So I think we do. Perfect. Okay. So here's the plan. Put that away for now. Put that away for now. And we'll just start getting ready, really. So... oh my, this is gonna be crazy. As long as they don't have control, like heavy control, it's going to be like highlight real material. We have like everything I need to make it count. That's fine. Let's try it again. If I can get it, that's great. If I don't get it, then it's fine with the seer. I think we're supposed to just take that, right? And then we can use our leader charges to fix it. Keep them from benefiting from it. Yeah, we'll kill that off here, I think. Can't take any chances. I'm getting ready to do the whole combo here. I just want to line up the row enough so that, you know, it counts. Like, we make it work. They might have heat wave, so I'm trying to decide how I want to do this ALZUR. That's actually a problem. Kind of ruins my plan. We were about to orb right there, right?
Not in epochs, eras, eons.
Okay, I can go Oniro.
Not to lose your head.
What do they play? Okay. It's got to be Oniro into an orb, doesn't it?
This message is for Fulmer. His eyes only.
And they're at 33. Shut down Sabbath for a bit. We'll take a spores here, right? We've got the orbs in the grave at least. They're gonna have to play it. That's awesome. Here. I think for that reason, I'm just gonna focus on the carryover part first. Nice little snipe. That little 1 point per turn engine's actually putting in work here. Yeah. I think we have what it takes to push a little bit. 1921, no Sabbath. Like, they're gonna have to go all in here. You get it by the one. Now, last say we confirm. Gord's huge. Everything else is looking pretty good. I don't want to accidentally mulligan it back. Unfortunately, Prism had its time to play, but it's not right now. So we'll just wait. And what is it going to be? It's probably going to be the Sorceress, right? Yeah. Too bad we didn't have Francesca in hand, but it's alright.
I could drown you in a single drop.
Get rid of the 1. At this point, 6 points is probably my best option, right?
Time for you to die, Dwan.
And then Gord's been maxed.
Blueberries, blueberries. Lady of the woods.
I'll take it. There. Whoops, just in time. Nilfgaard tactical decision, probably mill, right? Let's see what we can do here. 1, 2. Opening hand's looking actually really good. We just lay these down here, we get the orbs out there, we do a lot of that, maybe get some bountifuls, recycle. Ring of Favor keeps us in. There's a lot of good cards in deck we could lose, though. That's kind of annoying. It's probably just that, because we have so many things that can go wrong as far as bricks. Like, if they pull one of the orbs, I'm annoyed. If they pull a waylay, I'm annoyed. You know what I mean?
With me, you'll forget your sorrows.
As I was saying.
I could drown you in a single drop.
I think I'm supposed to boost it because I want to get more bountifuls. Carryover is going to be huge for us here.
Bow, barbarian.
I guess that's fine. It's a not very good card.
Spit it out.
Let's see what we get
already.
first.
I don't
Bountiful's
have all day.
perfect. And what's going to be here? Boost by 2 is 5. This is like kind of just keeps going.
May your sword and arm be
I think we do take another.
We follow Letho's lead.
That's too bad.
Has shown us the way. Riot!
Set the cooldown a little bit, so next turn we get it. Maybe we can do Mushy Truffle carryover. Like, we're in a decent spot.
just a peek. That is all I need.
I don't want them to get Alzer from me, though. Here, I want to make it, like, impossible for them to do anything here.
Here's our chance.
I wish it just sent it to grave, really. So we'll take one. We'll do truffle. We'll split the rows up a little bit. We're damaging first. We're boosting second. Get the cooldown here. Pretty comfortable lead still. I just wonder when and if we could pass, right? There it is. So ALZUR is prepped. It's gonna be 2. Yeah. We just push, don't we? We'll put back Waylay, we'll put back... we keep Spores, I think. This is incredible. Here. That goes for now. I don't know if I really want to have Venedane here. At the same time, Morin's not doing a whole lot. I think I'm going to put back Venedane.
Children giving parents unto death. It is
I'm going to greed this out like really bad though.
A highly curious case.
They're getting gored shortly.
His foes would otherwise incinerate themselves.
Oops. I'm gonna do this now because I feel like I have to.
You must banish her.
And then we can just pull gourd with Oniro.
Let us see.
That's what I was afraid of, really. Here. Oniro into Venedane, yeah. We put this back, and we put, for now, Spores back. We have to split it up, though.
Why aren't you listening? Listen to me sing, damn it!
So that'll be my lock.
Peace you desire. Prepare for war.
Hard to say if they'll do it again, but
There's nothing worse than a tepid bath.
maybe it's not.
Racists.
Because if I can get one more Waylay off the Snowdrop, it's a perfect 6. Actually, ALZUR'S pretty cool too. Yeah, we'll just leave it. If I had Pellar from hand, that would be busted, but hey.
If anyone asks, you've not seen.
At this point, I'm just thinking that it's probably just best to use the Morin for damage.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Manticore venom should do it.
Yeah, that's a 2-0. Alright, so I don't know how this one's gonna go. I feel like if it's Libby, we're a contender. If it's Self-Wound, it could be more difficult. But we have to decide what to take, and I would say it's probably not Callus at that point. Waylays are fine. Orbs, I'm not loving here, but then if I don't keep one, then this does nothing. It's probably getting rid of that for now. I don't know what we're going to do with Pellar right away. So I think Pellar goes as well. It's funny how we get what we're not looking for. We're going to boost this because I can't play without it, really.
I do not mince words.
Now I need... now I need Pellar. It's funny how it works, right?
If I'm to die, I'll do so sword in hand.
It's not a good opening hand. I think we just try and play some cheap stuff and maybe just try and reset. It's not looking too good for us here. I might be able to play down 1-2 more cards. Taking a Thunder off that's actually very nice. These are slow. I'm worried if they cram Melusine, it's kind of bad. Okay, that's pretty slow too.
No magic can.
Blood and neck hand. Similian blood.
Ring Favor's worth 14. You could pretty much be sure they have it. If we damage this again, then we get a worse Spores, because they'll probably boost that. But I don't want to use a leader charge.
Life's one never-ending fight.
There's really nothing I can do about the Sigvald. I don't mind taking, actually, that's probably what I'll muzzle later, if I can get it.
Cursed are the
It's
meek
kind of gross, actually. Yeah, we'll be alright. We'll be just fine. I like the trade. Alright, so moving on to round 2 here. We've got a way around the defender. You know, we can purify Sigvald on a refund of it, right? It's gotta be something like spores for now. It's gotta be that for now too. Yeah, it's alright. I want them to play a little bit because obviously salve would have been great. Color seems less valuable than these. There's other ways to deal with a Sigvald on a refund or a resurrection. Okay. So I need lots, right? We need quite a bit. Lock's good. That's good. And ALZUR'S, okay, I guess. Put that back. Truffle's even better. Onero's amazing. Muzzle's amazing. I think we have to try. Good. I don't know how you keep up with this. This is a tough hand to beat. What's the ALZUR counter? Well, it's non-existent. How are we gonna stage it though? We put these out. We take these, and then we put this, and then we trigger it here.
Seen it all already. And then some.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
I'm gonna let him sit. I really am. They can't get rid of both of them in the same turn, right? Unless they have Blue Boy, which I doubt. Even then, it's just 1.5. Okay.
Why should I, an elf, a sage, converse with an ape?
Get that out of the way. And, Hakusha. They took away from the ALZUR though. We're just gonna play him. We get 2 procs, which is actually fine. We'll take muzzle on this coming turn. If they're focused on getting rid of ALZUR, maybe we can just take the Sigvald so it's kind of good, you know? And then we can just lock something else. I would imagine that they have ales. They're definitely getting ready though to use Callus, right? So I gotta get some value here. It's like the worst thing that you can pull. Here, let's get rid of that engine.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
Okay, so muzzle.
Have you no honor? Stand and fight!
We're gonna lock that, duel that. They used the one though. Here. Let's wait a little bit longer.
Blood and neck ends. Civilian fart.
And just get rid of that because it's clean, right?
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
Okay. We push that. And we lock that.
Here alive.
They don't have a second one, I don't think. Yeah, we'll be alright. The only thing I'm not getting is preventing this. This should be enough though, like I don't see it. There we go.
I respect.
Alright, so we got Inspired Zeal coming up next. I like the idea of having Gourd, but at the same time I don't. Move 2 cards to the bottom of my deck. That's a problem too. We can keep an orb here, move it to the bottom of the deck, and we can maybe put back Peller as well and do that. Yeah, that's fine. Here.
This is our land, Dwan. You're not welcome here.
Yeah, I'm okay with those two there. Duel's a thing, Heat Wave's a thing, Muzzle's a thing. I'm not really sure how to treat the card. I'm hoping we can just have like a Venendane round and that's great, you know?
I pass on every 10th try.
That's really not too bad. Cooldown 3's pretty steep. Especially when they speed it up. I think I'm supposed to use a leader charge. And care a little bit less about this. And we gotta be careful for boiling oil, so I'm gonna go with take. make them use a heat wave to get rid of it. Ah, duel's actually quite big. Morin feels pretty good here too. I think the actual plan is to go and you take something like the salve, right? Let's see what we can get here. Chances are they remove that same turn, but we'll try. Or at least double ping it. Good. Take orbs here. It should be enough to get out of the round just because, there we go. That comes back, right? And 5 points. No treants. Making a bomb doesn't really do it. I think it's probably still waylay. Just use it here for the value. And then we pass on that. We got the orbs going. Maybe we still play with waylays. They're actually not bad cards, right? Starting to feel like this is the target, though. So Gord's looking safe. I have to go into a bit of a soft bleed here. It's looking siege to me. Okay, muzzle's great for ALZUR. We've got 1, 2, I guess that's fine. Counters 2 on that. Here. I don't know if we can actually make it, but if I get a chance to play this, then we can actually just get something going here.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity.
Push it back, play muzzle. Kind of sweet. So what if I took Oniromancy, purified it, and then just basically played into that a little bit? It's kind of slow, eh? It's got to be either Morin, or Thunder, or Pass. Thunder's quicker, or Morin's quicker.
They'll not leave here alive.
Gord's looking pretty proper. We've got a couple Thunders to deal with the problems next round. I think that we get caught if we don't pass, so we'll pass.
Yes, sir.
All we want is waylays, thunders, all that type of stuff, right? These aren't really bad either. I think Peller goes. And this does nothing for me here. This is good bait, but realistically we're only proccing it once. They must have missed scenario. It's funny because it's all bluff from here, like we don't have it. It's a good game to kind of see where we might go wrong sometimes, like when you're playing into super uber heavy control, like Skellige, Reckless Flurry, like Siege, you could run into these problems, right? I'll probably just trim this end piece off.